What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing good on this Saturday evening. I posted this to go live at 9:30 p.m. It's currently 9:22. Wanted to give a chance for people to get on. Hope everybody had a good week, had a good Saturday. It's raining here. It was nice all day, and then decided it wanted to start raining this evening. So it seems like that never ends. Seeing CW was in here, Mike Kaufman was in here earlier and posted a question. I don't know if he's still on or not. Wanted to chat a little bit tonight or this evening on the current state of the hockey, or the hobby, not the hockey. What am I doing in here, Level? I'm gonna go over my submission that I've got ready to go out. And you're a basketball guy, so you could probably weigh in on this. Just the state of the current hobby, especially in basketball cards. Just some things like I really enjoyed buying basketball. It's a great, it's a great part of the hobby. Because there's a lot of people that collect basketball, but I think that it's trending in the wrong direction. And I just wanted to talk about that a little bit and see what other people's opinions were. I know we've talked several times, Level, and you've asked me questions about baseball, which I think I'm more knowledgeable at than basketball, but I do buy basketball. That might change. I don't know if I'm going to continue much in basketball. As far as modern, anyway. Let me rephrase that. But yeah. Yeah, CW, it was really nice today. Till about 3-4 o'clock, it started getting real cloudy, and then it started raining. Probably about 5:30. I'm ready for baseball to be back. Waiting on the season. It's kind of bittersweet being a Nats fan because we won the World Series, and then we had all the Astros talk, so they didn't get much publicity. And now you have the coronavirus, and it's just it kind of sucks, That was a big thing. That was a huge comeback during the season, and then the playoffs. That whole run, it was just an incredible. Like, nobody could have predicted that, and it's all been taken away just by negative things with the coronavirus and the Astros and everything else. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, Level. And you being someone, that is bigger into the basketball side. I know it affects a lot of people, and my personal opinion, and I could be completely wrong on this, but my personal opinion is it's a lot of new people in basketball. And I'll say this because just from things that I've noticed personally. For one, I live near Blowout. It's technically, you could consider it my local card shop. I have 2 card shops near me. They both are about the same distance. Blowout being one of them, And when me and my wife have went up there, one thing that we've noticed is the amount of people that come in there and we hear them ask questions and say, well, I've never bought basketball before, but I want to get in on this hype. And they're buying product that really historically has not been a sought after product. What's even more concerning of that is the product that they're buying that isn't a traditionally sought after product. The price is way higher marked up than it has been in the past couple years. And I get that this crop of rookies was pretty good, but you have to look at last year. You had Luka, you had Trae Young, you had Colin Sexton, you had Bagley, who, unfortunately this year was hurt. You had DeAndre Ayton, who got the suspension and then had an injury, but the time he got to play, he looked really, really good. So last year you had a pretty good rookie class. And it wasn't until, I'd say like October, November, when Luka started out the year hot, that the product was still reasonably priced. In September, I went to Blowout and bought cello boxes of 2018-19 Prism for $125 a box. And, I get Luka had a great start. I think he's one of the top young players in the league. Giannis, I think, is for this generation, I think Giannis is the top player in the league. And Giannis's prices have skyrocketed. That's understandable. The problem I have with Zion and the hype with Zion is, and I'll go over here and show you. I looked up a few things before I got on here. Let me move to this screen over here so you guys can kind of see. All right, these are Zion Prism prices. This is a base card, and people are paying near $700 for a base card in a PSA 10. Now, I get people say, "Oh, he's going to be the next big thing in the hobby," and maybe I'm wrong, but to me, he has been more of a Shaquille O'Neal type. Let me pop my chart out here just in case you guys tell me anything or talk. Put that over here so I can see it. Okay. So, with that being said, if you look at Shaquille prices here, 25 plus years later, he's not even bringing the price that Zion is. He had some impressive games, but he's played 19 games. I'll pull this up to show you guys this. This is the player efficiency rating chart. And I want you to take a look at this. 19 games. That's it. 19 games. It's not even 25% of a season. And people are paying this money for a 19-year-old that's played 19 games. You got Ja Morant as your next top rookie. And, he's down here in 4th place. You got Brandon Clark here at number 2 on efficiency rating. But then you go over here and it's the value added rating that they add to their team. And Clark and Morant are by far tops. I mean, you look at this list, they're by far tops. The estimated wins added, they're over 6. There's nobody else even close. And then you have Zion sitting here with 19 games and people paying, almost $1,000 for a base card. And that, to me, just is the wrong way to go about the hobby. LeBron prices have just recently started increasing within the past month or so. I say that as in February I grabbed his Topps rookie in a PSA 9. I paid $225. The last one sold for $850. So, you got arguably one of the greatest, probably top 3 all-time players, that you can pick up one of his iconic rookies for a couple $100 just a couple months ago. But yeah, you got a kid who's played 19 games. Now, I can't predict this kid's future. He could have his knee go back out on him, or he could become a really great player. But personally, for me, and just evaluating what he did when he played, for one thing, I'll tell you, I noticed if you look at like his offensive rebounds, it's pretty high. His defensive rebounds, you look at here, Porter Jr. is up there at 24. You know, this is their defensive rebound ratio. If you notice, Zion's ratio is actually pretty low. It's actually below Jackson Hayes, which is his teammate. And part of that is, what I noticed, is Zion, if he's not taking the shot, or when he's on defense, he will immediately, he'll like be at half court already. That's how Lonzo's able to throw half court alley-oops to him. He's not playing down low. He's basically just cherry picking, is what I'm going to say. And I think part of that is due, I know he's explosive with like his first step, but I think he knows that on a fast break he may not be able to keep up, and he doesn't want to look like he's lagging behind. And he also wants to get his points down low. Easily. I mean, they showed some stat, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something like, outside of 6 feet, he hadn't made hardly any shots. And to me, that's not a $1,000 player. I mean, if you're going to spend $1,000 on a base card, somebody that can just stay inside, hit a layup or a dunk, it's not a $1,000 player to me. You know, and that's just my personal opinion. But one thing and the reason I'm bringing this topic up is Prism has been pretty much the gold standard for base rookie cards, and then you got the silvers and all that. And then Optic usually followed behind. And then, you know, you'd have your other sets. You got, Mosaic is the one that just came out. But you got Donruss, you got Hoops, you know, all the other, those were non-chrome cards. But Mosaic has never been a sought-after product. It's been a hobby exclusive product that, in terms of value and everything, was not really coveted. Personally, I think the cards look really nice. I like the pattern on the card and everything. But the value was never there. It was kind of looked at like, you know, the value end for a hobby product to get a base rookie. A nice looking base rookie. But let's go over here to 130 point, and let's pull up 2019 Mosaic. And one thing that's interesting to me is that it was always Prism Mosaic. This year, Panini completely rebranded the product, and they just call it Mosaic now. It's also interesting that it now has a retail product. It also has regular base cards. It has silvers. And this product never had that. So they rebranded Mosaic. And it almost is following suit like just a replica of Prism. So let's look at some prices. We have a lower coveted product with essentially the same style. And by the way, I watched a few people open some of these, and this is basically the imagery you're going to get. A guy dribbling the basketball. What I'm talking about, I'm not talking about him being drawn out of the paint. I'm talking about, if you really watch him play, he's already like down the court before anybody else is heading down the court. It's like he knows he's got to get back down on offense. And his size, I don't know that the Pelicans really have the bodies to be counting on him, to be running back down the court. He needs to be getting rebounds and everything. So that's just one thing. And he, like I said, he's only played 19 games, so maybe they can adjust his game. But to me, to see him just running down the court and not going for defensive rebounds, he should be a 10, 15 rebound guy with his explosive, vertical and his size. He should be able to get the boards on defense. And to be at, half court or almost at the other end of the court by the time somebody like Lonzo gets the rebound and just tosses it down the court, to me, that's not basketball. But anyway, I want to talk about this real quick because this here blows my mind. $75 for a base mosaic. A base. And then this is where it really gets interesting. $46 for a hanger box. A 20 count hanger box. Now, I have not seen these in stores, but I am going to assume that they're the same price as the Prism hanger boxes were, which was $17.98. So people are already paying nearly 3 times markup for a product that just came out that is at best third in the sought after market. Now, I know a lot of it comes down to, well, I've heard people say I didn't get my hands on Prism Optics, so I really want Mosaic. That's great, but for people to be going on here and paying these prices on a markup, look, 9 of them, $375. People wonder, well, why does somebody go in Walmart and buy up the whole product? This is why. $120 for a mega box. That's probably a $50 box. $120. That makes no sense. It's not worth it to me. I mean, and this is just my opinion, I bought a lot of Prism, I bought a lot of Optic, but I did not buy it at a marked up price ever. I either found it in the store or I didn't buy it. And as far as Zion, I sold Zion. I would buy, rip, sell. Use that money, buy more, rip, sell. I profited really well. Yeah, exactly, Level. $55 and it's $120. I mean, that's double the markup. Now, I get there's probably free shipping on this, but, even still, they're paying twice as much on one megabox. And of a lower tiered product that hasn't even had its hobby release yet. I mean, what are hobby prices going to be for Mosaic? $300-$400 a hobby box? It's not, the product isn't worth that. And why these prices are being driven, I seriously believe, is the new people coming into the hobby, especially basketball side, and who aren't familiar or educated with the products, and they see, okay, new product release, Zion's in it, gotta have it because it's Prism $600, $700 for his base, gotta go out, gotta find a way to get it. So, anyway, I just wanted to talk on that a minute, and just give you guys an opinion of how I'm feeling. I think it's very, very bad for the hobby. I'm not giving this spiel because I can't find Mosaic, because quite honestly, I'm not looking for Mosaic. There is a virus out there right now. I haven't been to work in 5 weeks because I'm protecting my wife and kids. I'm not going to run to every Walmart that is near me in a 50-mile radius to check for a product that I personally know has never been in demand. I'm not going to do it. If the virus wasn't going on, I might go check to get a couple boxes, and if I couldn't find it, so be it. Yeah, you know, I had plenty of luck finding Optic and Prism. I made profit on both products. I enjoyed it. I hit some really nice cards, but I'm not going to pay these markup prices, and I'm not going to go searching around at 20 different Walmarts and whatever. I'm just not going to do that. If anybody does, though, you know, I'm not knocking you. I just wanted to speak on this because I do know a lot of people aren't familiar with the products. And it's really kind of sad to see that a lot of, like Level Jumper said, a lot of people are being priced out of it. With that being said, though, it's actually helping guys like Allen Iverson, Tim Duncan, Dwayne Wade, obviously LeBron. Shaq prices have increased. We know Jordan and Pippen have went up. So some of these like legend guys from mid 90s, early 2000s, their prices are starting to go up because people can't get the modern because it's too expensive. So why not spend it on somebody that's in the Hall of Fame versus somebody that's played 19 games? So keep an eye on that because I've noticed it. Anyway, enough of the banter. You guys more than willing or more than welcome to weigh in on your opinion on this and how your feelings are. Anyway, Gentry, that site, I'll type it in chat. It is 130point.com. Great site. It shows you best offers that were accepted. You can look up anything. And it shows you eBay sales. It's a great site. Speaking of sales, I'll pull this up real quick. I know people have been curious about... Well, actually, I don't want to do it on there. Let me go over here. I don't want to share anyone's eBay information. Yeah, Brian, I actually had to go out of state for work one weekend, and I pulled off to take a rest while I was driving. And there was literally a Walmart and a Target right next to each other, 1 mile away from the gas station I pulled off at, and they were stocked. Like, I couldn't believe it. It was like nobody in that town bought sports cards. Unfortunately, it's like 3.5 hours away from me, and I'm not making that trip to get some cards, but I did find some there. Okay, Prism, PJ Washington, Green, SGC. I want to show you guys this, okay? It's a gold label, PJ Washington Green. People were curious how the pristine SGC gold labels would sell. Now, this is my only one I've sold so far. I pretty much am keeping all of the ones I got, but I did get an offer on this one today. I set it up for 100 or best offer, just because I didn't know what it would bring. And I got an offer today of $50 on it. I took 50 on this, and I'll show you why. Let me go over here to PSA 10. If you look here, the last PSA 10 sold for $35. One sold for $30. And then if you go over here to BGS, let's see here. For some reason it's slow. A 9.5 sold for 20. Another one sold for 26. So, you know, I got 50 on a pristine SGC. A 10 in PSA only goes for 35. I could not find any BGS 10s to get a comp on that, but if you can see here 20 to 25 on a 9.5, I would assume 50 would be about a BGS 10 price. And also for the fact this card raw is $2 to $3. So when you're looking at return on investment, $2 to $3 card, you know, spend $10, or I spend a little slightly less than that because I do bulk, and I sold for 50. So that's a pretty good return on investment. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys because I know some people were curious about how the gold labels, and I'm sitting here showing the camera again, gold label, PJ Washington. I gotta learn to cut this screen off when I'm showing y'all stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna get into this stack right here and share with you guys what this is. And this order, I'm gonna do 120 cards. If anybody watched my last preview, you know that I did my first 2 orders at 110. First order, I was real baseball heavy. Second order, I wanted to send more basketball. I also wanted to kind of try to test out how SGC is, because in my first order, I noticed they were pretty tough on the Prism and the Optic cards. So I'm hoping with inspecting the cards better, I did better on my second order. I have not got that back yet, but I do want to go ahead and get another order with them. This one, I got it broken in sports here. I have baseball, basketball, and hockey. I did go really light on basketball this time because I sent so much last time. I want to kind of alternate and then kind of get a balance of A, product to sell, and B, gauge how they're grading. Also, since I have gotten one order back with them, I kind of had an idea of comparing things that they ding hard for, things that I may have missed when I submitted that order because I didn't check my first order as good as I should have. And I've seen several people do this, but most of them don't talk about what they put until they do their reveal video when the order comes back. So I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys. I made a list here. I don't know how well you can see it, but over here I made a grade column, and everything here, I inspected my cards really, really well, and I marked down approximately, an estimate of what I think they're going to get. If it's got a 9, 5, 10 right here, as you can see, I marked a lot of them 9, 5, 10. The card had, I'll show you guys what I'm going through here. There's a couple cards in 2020 Topps and in 19 Update that almost every single one of them have a little white speck in one of the corners. And I don't know if they're going to give those 10s or if they're going to ding them. I'm going to assume they're going to ding them because I can't remember who it was, but I've seen somebody get back several Bo Bichette's, and he is one of the cards out of 2020 Topps, and he got almost all 9 5s. So I'm pretty sure that the little defect I've found on majority of all these cards is pretty consistent across the whole board, and they are taking off for them. So with that being said, I did on ones that I spotted the specs on, I marked those as a 9, 5, 10. On this order, out of 120 cards, I wrote over here, I have 26 of them that I question whether or not they'll get a 10. With that being said, that would leave me with 94 10s. I'm going to strive. I think there's a couple cards in here. I'm not going to call out that I'm going to get pristines because I ain't that good. I'll take a 10 if I get a pristine. But I'm going to guess based off my first order and how well hockey graded. I'm going to guesstimate maybe 12 pristines. Let me show you right here. 12 pristines. I'm going to say 6 of those will be hockey. And then my lowest grade should be between an 8.5 and a 9. That is the Ronald Acuna All-Star stamp that I pulled out of one of the sets I opened the other night from 2018. That card, it might even get an 8, I'm going to be honest with you. But I want it slabbed anyway because that's not a very highly produced card. And most people that have those sets keep those sets together. So I do want to go ahead and get it slabbed. If it gets a 9, great. You know, I'm just taking the chance on it. But anyway, let me go ahead and get into this, and I'll show you guys the cards, and I'll tell you some of the ones that I do feel could, you know, potentially have issues. That way, if you guys ever want to grade baseball, if you don't already, you know what to spot. Level Jumper, that comment was for you because you've asked me about baseball, so I'm going to give you a little bit of tips on here. Ron Perry, they do have bulk pricing. The best suggestion I can give you here for bulk pricing, contact Andy at GoSGC.com. We can help you, and you can also ask if you are able to use promo code for bulk. There you go. For anybody interested in bulk, contact Andy. He's a really great guy. He's actually the one I spoke with that gave me the promo code to give back to you guys. I don't know if he would allow the promo code for bulk because obviously when you get into that stage, you're going to be getting, you know, 10% would be taking a lot off. And with bulk, that's why I'm not even going to ask them if I can use the code, as I mentioned to you guys. You know, it's $10 for 20 day for just a normal submission. If I wanted to send 20 cards, it'd be $10 a card. I don't get much off of that, but when you figure like $1.50 a card savings over the course of 120 cards, I'm saving over $100 for this submission. Then you take onto that, this would be my 3rd submission. I'm at $300, you know, at least in savings. So I'm not going to ask, hey, can I take another 10% off? Because that's not what this code's for. This code is for you guys. Level, ask about a code. I said I would ask for one. So that's what it's for. It's not for me to save any money or benefit from. It's for you guys. All right, let me get into showing you the cards. It is baseball heavy, so baseball guys, I hope you enjoy this. you can try it, Level, but you're going to have to contact them anyway to get a promo code to do the bulk pricing or have them price you at bulk. I don't know that they'll let you use 2 promo codes, but you can try it. All right, guys, first up, I got a 19 update Carter Kieboom. This is the gold parallel. I have this one projected to get a 10. All the corners, everything look great on it. And I'm not going to point out the corners and everything. If I say it's a 10, I inspected this card. Corners are great. Edges were great. Surface were great. Some of them I don't know about centering. So, you know, I could be off on the centering aspect. But I look for the main 3, and I figure if I can do good on 3 of the 4, I should be okay. So, anyway. All right, next up is out of that All-Star set, I pulled the Ohtani rookie out. It has the All-Star Game stamp. This is from 2018 Topps complete set All-Star Game edition. The next one is the Ozzie Albies. Oh, on the Ohtani, I have it at a 10. Next, I got Albies. Pulled him out. I think he's very underrated. And I do have multiple copies of these All-Star Game cards. I just only pulled one for now of most of these guys. But the Albies, I have it at a 9, 5, 10. One of the corners looked I mean, they look good. You can see them in the camera. But I'm real picky on my cards. So I'm going to be strict and realistic on my grades. So, you know, if I get better, great. But at least my expectations are real. Hendog, it's not wrong to send them in top loaders. They prefer the card savers because A, the cards do not move around in them. B, it's easier for them to get them out. And C, they do not return the top loaders to you. And top loaders are more expensive than the card savers. So Cardboard Carolina only use card saver once. They don't like the card savers 2s. They're way too small. Okay, next up, I got the Devers out of that set. Again, the All-Star Game set. I have this one also at a 9.510. It had a slight little bit of white that, I mean, it's hard to even see it, but with a magnifying glass, I see it, so I'm going to mark it as seen. Next up is Eloy Jimenez from the 2019 All-Star Game set. I have this one as a 10. This is the Reyes out of Update, the 150-year stamp. I have this one at a 9, 5, or 10. Next up is Mike Yastrzemski. This is the foil out of 2019 Update. I have this one as a 10. Mauricio Dubon from 2020 Topps Series 1. This is the gold, even though it looks brown. This is the gold parallel for this year. I have this one at a 9, 5, 10. There was something on the back, one of the back corner, that corner right there didn't quite look sharp under the magnifying glass, so I have it at a 9, 5, possible 10. Next up is 2019 Topps Chrome Update Oscar Mercado Pink Refractor. I have this one as a 10. These Chrome cards, as long as you don't get any surface scratches or anything like that on them, 9 times out of 10 they grade really, really well, so you can't really go wrong on the Chromes. Next up is Brendan Rodgers from Update. This is his foil. I have this one as a 10. And then there's 2 Brendan Rodgers Golds from 19 Update. I also have both of those as 10s, as well as his short print photo variation, and I have it also as a 10. Next up is Chris Paddock from 19 Update. This is the 150-year stamp. I got this one at a 9, 5, 10. This edge up here, I can't tell if it's just angle or a really clean cut, but it did look like it had a little bit of whitening. So this could possibly get a 9, 9, 5. I have it marked as a 9, 5, 10. Hoping that that's just, you know, the way it looks. But next up is his gold out of 19 Update. And I have this one as a 10. Really clean corners, edges, and everything on here look really sharp. Next up is his photo variation. This one I do have as like a 9 to 9.5. This corner right here is not completely sharp, so I think that might 9.5 or even 9. Let's see. Next up, I have 2 Brian Reynolds golds. Both of these I actually have as 10s, very sharp cards. And also, majority of every card in here, me and my wife pulled ourselves. These are not raw bought. There are a couple I bought. But the majority of all these cards I'm showing you guys, and you know, the grading and why I know pretty much the cards, and aside from inspecting them, we pulled these ourselves. So keep that in mind when, you know, I'm saying this you know, could be a 10 or whatever. But next up is Michael Chavis, gold. Again, this one, this corner up here, look like it has, you know, a little tiny tad bit of white. I have it at a 9.5/10. Aside from that, it looked really good. Here is his photo variation from 2019 update, and I have it as a 10. Next up is Nick Senzel. This is a 150-year stamp. This one I have as a 9.5/10. Again, this corner right there, it's really hard to see, but it has a touch of white right there on the edge of that corner, so it could knock this to a 9.5. I'm just being realistic when I'm calling these grades. I didn't, you know, I can't expect 120 10s, and if I see anything that could potentially be a defect, I notated that it could potentially be. I put 9.5/10. If it's 9.95, that, you know, is probably more realistic. But anyway, that way at least I know that the card did have a flaw that I noticed, even if it was minute. Next up is Nick Senzel. This is his photo variation. I have this one as a 10. Very, very sharp card. I have two Will Smith photo variations. The first one I had as a 10. The second one I had as a 9.5, possible 10. So I have two of those. Kevin Biggio, gold. I have it as a 10. We just pulled this one last Friday night. So really sharp card. I have his SP photo variation. I have this one as a 10. Next up is Tommy Edman. First is his 150 year. Actually, I'll just go ahead. I got 4 Tommy Edmans in this order. I have all of these as 10s. First one is his 150 year stamp. Next one is his foil. His Walgreens yellow. And his gold. Now, I will say, these 3 were bought raw off of eBay. I also purchased another gold, but it had a white corner, and I purchased a Meyer purple. It had white on both corners, most likely 8 or 8.5 condition. So that's why I did not include those in this order. Ron, I have a Vlad gold. I have, yeah, just wait. We've done very well on update. All right, next up, this is a card some of y'all might like. The Ronald Acuna from 2018 complete set All-Star Game stamp. Not a card you see a lot of. Undervalued in my opinion. But I have one of these. If you guys watched me open the sets the other night, I think it was like a week or so ago, I opened 2 sets up. One of them came out damaged, and this is what I was talking about. I'm sending it in anyway. But I have one of these as a 10, and I have the other one as a possible 8.5 to a 9. But I still want to go ahead and get it graded. So when these come back and I show the results from the submission, don't be surprised if one of those Acuñas is 8, 8.5, 9, something like that. So, all right, next up, I got the 2 Gleibers out of that set. This is also the All-Star Game stamp. These actually both looked really, really nice, which surprised me that one of the Acuñas was bad, because both Gleibers looked really great. And Gleibers actually behind Acuna in the box, so Gleibers $6.99 and Acuna is $6.98. And for some reason, one of the Acuñas was damaged, but the Gleibers were both good. So anyway, I got 10s on those. Now, This is one of the cards I wanted to talk to anybody that is interested in grading baseball, interested in starting to buy baseball. Level Jumper has reached out to me. I know a lot of you guys already collect baseball. I don't know how many of you go ahead and grade already. So this is just a little heads up. These cards, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 Bichettes I'm going to include in this order. I have more of these, but I'm going to put these 8 in there. Out of these 8, I only have 1, 2, 3 that I am confident will 10. If you look at all these cards, the corners are very, very, very sharp. Just looking at them, they look great. I'm going to tell you why I only have 3 of them I'm confident in. And I'll see if it'll show up on the camera. This corner, let's see if I can find one that's better. It's hard to see, and I know, right, here's one. This corner right here, I don't know how well that shows up, but there's white on these corners. This is not, if you notice, I use the large penny sleeves. I don't use the tight penny sleeves. So this is not the corner nicking the sleeve when I put it into the penny sleeve. This is a issue that with the manufacturing that is coming straight from Topps. Again, I have more of these, and these were the best ones that I could submit, that I'm going to submit, and only 3 of them do I believe will definitely get a 10. There was somebody, I can't remember their name, but they submitted quite a few of these, and they got a ton of 9.5s. And I'm pretty positive if they would have looked, because it's hard to see, but under a magnifying glass, this bottom left corner on the back has a white spot. It's notorious for it. And again, this is not from us putting these in the sleeves. These are all put in the larger sleeves. So that was not done when we put these in the sleeves and card savers. And I'll show you another reason to prove that it wasn't us putting them in. There's another card from 2019 update that has a similar issue, but in a spot that would not have been touched by us inserting it into the sleeve. So I'll show you all that in a minute. But I got 8 of these Bichettes. I have 3 10s, 1, 2, 3, 4 that could be possible 9.5s. One of them I think is going to 9. I don't think it'll even get a 9.5. But I'm going to go ahead and send these, see how I do on them. But I wanted to give you all that heads up. When I get them back, we'll go through them, review, see how they graded them. Maybe if they realize it's a common issue, although I don't know what the hobby's feeling is really on that. If it's a consistent issue, I don't know if it technically should be looked at as a flaw. But anyway, we'll see how they grade them, and it'll be interesting to see how I did on those. Next up, I have 4 Yordan Alvarez from 2020 Series 1. I have 3 of these. This one, and this one as 10s. This one, I think, possibly 9.5. I think there was something on that bottom corner. Yeah, one of the corners was a little iffy to me, but I have 3 10s and one that could potentially 10, but probably 9.5. Next up, I got Tatis. Going to send one of his Chrome. I have some Tatis already there, waiting in my last order, but the Topps Chrome I have is a 10. Again, Topps Chrome, really easy product to grade. You sent in 5. 2 with that same issue, and 3 of the 5 got 10s. The other 2 9.5. Was the 2 that 9.5? Did it have those little white dots? And when I say little, guys, they are hardly noticeable, but it is a small white dot in that bottom left corner. That's good to note, Dave. Next up, I have Tatis All-Star Game stamp from 2019. I have this one at a 9.5, but I'm praying it gets a 10 because I love these All-Star Game stamp cards. This corner up here, it does have a slight tad, just a little tad of white right there. So it possibly could 9.5, but I'm going to hope for a 10. And then I have, following that up, I have 3 of his regular tops. One of these, this one I think will 10. These 2 may possibly 9.5. But I'll go ahead and give them a shot. Can't ever hurt to grade Tatis. Next up, Pete Alonso. This is his rookie debut out of 2019 update in the gold. I have this one at a 10. And then here's the Alonso All-Star stamp out of 2019 Topps complete set. I have this as a 10. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of his base from Series 2. I have all of those at a 10. Next up, okay, let's set these back down. I have Vlad. Now, this, as you notice, is a different photo. In Series 2, most of you probably know, his Series 2 card is a short print. It does not have a card number on it. In the complete sets, they used this photo, and they made him card number 700. So this is from the set, and it has the All-Star Game stamp. This one I have as a 10. Collecting with Connor, no, I do not. I do not crack cards. In fact, if you go to my eBay page, I showed in my reveal video for my first order, I got an 8 on an Acuna update. The card displays beautifully. Like, unless you actually look up close to the card, it would look like a 10. It has a slight curl in the top right corner, and there's a tiny dimple next to the dot on the back of his jersey for Junior. I put it up on eBay for $40. It's a great card. The card has a lot of potential. It's his true update, not the set variation or whatever. People have sent me offers on it, and I will not accept offers on it, because literally I know if someone buys it, most likely they're going to crack the case, they're going to rub their finger on the corner, smooth it out, and that card is going to come back probably a 9.5, because at that point, the corner is not creased, it's just got a little curl like it got snagged or something, but there's no damage done to the corner, other than it's just curled a little bit. I would almost guarantee at that price, somebody's going to buy it, crack it, try to fix that corner, resubmit it, and then it becomes a $100 card. So I think $40 is more than fair, especially for a collector that would just like to add an Acuna update. Put black tape over the sleeve. The card displays perfect. Unless you're up close to it, you would not know it has a flaw. So I do not reslab them. I will sell them or keep them. I have 9s. I buy 8s. I don't mind the lower grades for my collection. Anyway, it's that whole buy the card, not the grade. I mean, back on that shelf, I have a Wayne Gretzky rookie, and it's a 4.5, but it looks beautiful except for just soft corners. And a card that old, I'm not going to be picky over some sharp corners. Anyway, let me get back to the cards here. I got a gold Vladdy from the Home Run Derby. This one I do have is a 10. And then next up are the other guys' cards. Now, unfortunately, it's Blue Jays. Vlad Jr. 2019 update. Another card with a flaw. Dave, I don't like to discuss Bo Bichette first Bowman. My wife will be more than glad to tell you in chat of why I don't like to discuss Bo Bichette first Bowman. Anyway, these cards here are another one that has an issue. A lot of these, this top corner will have a white spot. They also are known to have a chip right here in this area of the card. I think what happened, if you notice, he is US 1. He is the first card in the run. I think there was a issue with the cut, the production, and when they cut the cards, this top corner most likely was on the edge outer portion, and for some reason, these are really, really hard to find one that is just completely sharp, no white showing, no nothing. So I'm going to try 5 of these. I have about 30 of these Guerreros. I'm sending in 5 to see how they do. I think out of these, I picked 3 that could possibly 10. But again, I want to try them. And then I have 2 that I feel might get dinged because of that corner up there. So I'm putting those around the 9.95 range. So I'm going to try 5 of those out, see how we do. If I can get a better grasp on what they, how they're going to grade those, I'll send in more. Because like I said, I have probably 30 of the Vladdies. Next up and final guy for baseball. This is all the same guy. Pretty hot right now. Keston Hiura. The first one, well actually, these I looked over. I have a ton of Keston Hiura as well. These I truly believe these will all get 10. So I'm just going to go through real quick and show you the ones I'm sending. And I was very picky when I chose these, but this is the 150-year stamp. This one is a cool one. It's the Topps 3D. You see the background moving there. His gold. I got another one of his short print. We pulled this last Saturday in a case we broke. It was kind of cool because I have this one already. So, was really happy about that. So, got another short print going in. And then I'm sending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm sending 10 regular from Update and 2 Chrome. Now, you might ask me, why are you sending 10 Keston Hiura? And I'm going to tell you why. A lot of people talk about return on investment or ROI. I'm sure you guys have heard that, talked about a lot. And it's really what grading cards, especially if you're going to sell and try to invest or whatever, that's what you're searching for, is return on investment. Cards like this, and the reason there's so many, the reason I love Topps basic, flagship rookies. This card right here is about $5 to $6 raw. Okay, I could sell them all day long, $5 to $6. I could sell these 50 to 60 bucks. Okay, I have not pulled the Vlad Super Short Print, Ron. That would be awesome. I'll actually like that card when he's in the dugout with the baseball. But anyway, 10 cards right here. I could sell these for $50 to $60. Not a bad price. Or even at only sending those in, I could spend $100 for grading fees. These in a PSA, they may have went up, but the last time I looked, they were selling for $100. I seen an SGC sell for $60. So, we're talking $50 to $60 raw value. We'll say $100 plus $25 in shipping. So, you're at $185 in value with your grading fees and what the raw value is. 10 cards at $60 is $600 in sales. That is a huge return rather than selling raw. For minimal money, you can turn these into almost $100 a piece. That's why I send so much Topps flagship rookies. They're a pretty much you can't miss. I mean, unless, you know, I have like 6 binders behind me full of rookies, just of guys that aren't really valuable right now, but could potentially be. But, you know, I love ripping just Topps baseball. I think it's a great value. You can find it everywhere versus like Prism and Optic, like I was talking about in basketball. I can find baseball everywhere, cheap, and get investment returns on this. You know, yeah, people are looking for that $1,000 hit, but what they don't realize is it's easier to pull these. My wife had to run to the grocery store today, bought a couple Update Fat Packs, and in those we pulled a Hira, a Trout Gold, a Michael Chavis foil, Luis Reyes, 2 Chris Paddocks, and that was out of like $12 in packs. Grade 1, it's $60 at least. So, if you guys ever have questions on this, just hit me up on Reddit or Instagram or something. I'll get into further details maybe one day in a video about just specifically Topps rookies. You can't go wrong. Yeah, Connor, I'm trying to change the shout outs up. Like every video, I'm gonna put just a few people up. People that have been subscribed for a long time, people that comment, people that have hit me up on Reddit or Instagram, people that I've noticed watching other videos that have gave me a shout out in their video or told people to come check our channel out. It's just a thank you and some, you know, an appreciation. I can't make it really long or it would just be sitting there scrolling forever. So I'm trying to do a few every video, mix it up and, you know, get everybody's name up there the best I can. And it's just to give you guys a, you know, you give me credit, you message me sometimes or comment on a video. This is just this easy way to give back and say thank you to you guys and give you guys shout outs. For anyone watching, you know, they can see the names up there and maybe go check y'all's channels out. That's all that's for. I'll be changing it every video. All right, next up, guys, I'm going to get into basketball. It's not many. And if you watched my last live video, I was so mad at myself and scared. But guys, they survived. I spilled a drink on all of the LeBrons I had laying on the table over here. Luckily, everything just got on the outside of the card savers and the penny sleeves. So LeBron lives and I can submit them because this would have been bad. Anyway, first up I have 2 of his 2019 Don Russ. I like the picture, the Lakers uni. One of these I do think is kind of off-centered, so I give it a 9.5. I believe it was this one, side to side, it looked a little off-centered. This one, I think, pretty good. It might be just a touch off top to bottom, but side to side looked really good. So yeah, I have one of these as a 10 and one is a 9.5. Next up, I had another one of these and I sold it because I did not ever think inserts would blow up like they did. But this is the My House Optic Hollow. I have this one at a 10. I'm not quite sure on the centering. Someone, I think it was 502 Frank, watched his video. He said it has to do with this line in this corner. So I'm hoping that's right. But anyway, the card's pretty sharp, so that should get a 10. The back looks pretty good on centering too. So we'll see how that one goes. Next up is 2 Optic. I have more of these, but as you know, the Panini quality this year has been really harsh. These are the only 2 I really feel have a chance. I have both of these as a 10. We'll see how well I did on accounting for the centering. I think they look really good. So, see how I do on that. I know the surfaces and corners and edges are good. It's the centerings that's going to get me. Then I have 6 of his Prism base. Out of these 6, I have 4 that I am confident will 10. I'm also gonna go out on a limb and say at least one of those 4 should pristine. It's a big statement. I think 2 have a good chance. But I'm gonna say I think 1 will definitely pristine. And then 4 total, 1 pristine, 3 10s, and then 2 could possibly get a 9.5. Some of this centering, like as you notice, this side right here looks a little bit thinner than this side. So I think there's 4 10s, 2 9.5s, possibly a pristine. Yes, he's waiting for his for the Bowman Bichette, Bo Bichette story, Mrs. Bobbles. Actually, you can call her Bobbles because she's the big bobblehead collector. And I am the one, like, she loves cards too, but I brought her into the cards. So that's how we got our name. Plus, both of our first names start with B, so it worked out great. Bobbles and ball cards. It is a bold statement level, but I think one of them is going to pristine. I have a feeling. I looked it over very, very hard. But I really think they are. Thomas, is it a autographed card that you actually pulled, or was it one that you got done in person? They no longer authenticate autographs that were done in person, but if it was a packed, excuse me, I'm losing my voice now. If it was a packed pulled autograph, they will authenticate and grade the autograph. If it's one you got in person, they do not do that anymore. All right, next up, and I'll go through these real quick. I don't know if anybody here likes hockey, but it is very fun to break, and a very, very cheap product. So, again, something to rip at a cheap price, and believe it or not, has a pretty good value. So, first up, this card is not really worth anything, but it is a 1 of 1. And I think it will get a 10. So, this is a Tyler Kuma. This is a buyback auto. It was originally in 2012-13 Upper Deck Series 1, and it is his 1 of 1. Poor kid was 23rd overall pick, only played 1 NHL game. So that's why I said it's not really worth anything, but it was my first 1 of 1 out of hockey, so I'm going to go ahead and get it graded for the heck of it. Next up is a Trent Frederick Young Guns. This is the clear cut version, which is acetate. You see back behind through the card. And that one, I'm putting the 2 that I have here. I have another clear cut. I'm putting these at 10s. These are kind of iffy. The surfaces are kind of weird on them because they're in acetate. But anyway, this is a Dylan Gambrell Young Guns clear cut. and I have it marked as a 10, like I said. This is a Dan Vladar. Excuse me with the names, I'm learning them. But this is his Young Gun exclusives. It's out of 100. This one I have also at a 10. Hockey, if you guys watched my reveal video from my first order, Hockey graded great. I got 13 pristine and half of those were Hockey. That's why this order I'm predicting if I can get 12 pristine, 6 of those 12 I think will be Hockey. Upper Deck has really, really nice quality control. Next up is Barrett Hayton Young Guns from this year's Series 2. I have it as a 10. Brady Tkachuk from 1819 Series 2 Young Guns, also a 10. Nick Suzuki, another one I think will 10. Caden Primiu, also I believe will 10. Elvis Merzlikins, another one I believe will 10. Carter Hart from 1819 Series 2. Really good goalie for the Philadelphia Flyers. This card actually is, I believe, around $40 raw. So, I wanted to get that one sent in. Cale Makar. Cannot go wrong with this kid. We already have a pristine of him. We have his clear cut. I had another one of a 10. It was the first Hockey card out of SGC that I sold. It was actually the first American grading company, I believe, on eBay. So I got that one sold. We did pull another one, so hopefully this one gets a 10 as well, maybe even a pristine. This guy people is going crazy over. This card I think is like $60 to $80. At one time it was over $100. It's Igor Shesterkin. This is his Young Gun canvas. He does not have a regular Young Gun yet. He only has his canvas, so that kind of boosts the value of this card. But these things grade really well. This is one that could easily 10, maybe pristine. These canvas cards, they're on a really nice card stock, and they grade really, really easily. Next up is Oliver Wahlstrom. This is his Young Gun exclusive out of 100. Unfortunately, I have this card at maybe a 9.5, could potentially even be a 9. This corner right here, I did notice, has some white on it, so that's unfortunate. These cards are actually really hard to pull, and they hold some really good value. Unlike Topps and their base cards, you have Young Guns, you have the UD exclusives, which are out of 100, you have High Gloss, which are out of 10, and then you have the Clear Cuts, which are unnumbered, and a Clear Cut exclusive that is also unnumbered. So they don't have a lot of parallels, and the parallels of these Young Guns sell for really good money. I was reading chat, and apparently my wife is making an announcement to you guys. Anyway, I got 2 Robert Thomas from 1819 Series 2. I think both of these will 10. Got 2 Ilya Samsonov. I really like this kid. Obviously, we live near DC, and we just started getting into hockey, but this kid has great potential. Holtby is still there right now. He's a good goalie, but I think this kid's going to be really good in the future. So, got 2 of him. These should both 10. This kid, he's really popular, Kirby Doc. Have 2 of him, and both of these should also 10. Got 2 Capo Caco, really good. He sells really well. Unfortunately, here's another situation of production flaws. On my last submission, we got 110 and 19. I have a feeling this one is also going to 9. If you look up here, this edge, the last one that 9'd, it had a really, really rough edge right there. This one you can see that white up there above his head and everything. So pretty sure that one's gonna 9 as well. This one looks fairly clean. There's just a tad speck, but it's not all tore up and everything. So I think it could be 110, 19, maybe a 9.5 and a 10. We'll see. I have 3 Braden points. These should all 10. And then to wrap it up, we got Andrei Svechnikov. Another guy had a really good season until they had to stop. But I got 3 of him, and those all should 10. But that is 120 cards, guys. Like I showed you guys, all of the grades are here. I will keep this sheet. We will compare, see how well I did in predicting my grades. I have 26 total that I think could potentially not 10, which would leave me 94 10s. I'm hoping and thinking there's a possibility, I don't want to call them out, but I think there's a possibility of 12 pristines, 6 of which are hockey, and my lowest grade should be in the 8.5 to 9 range. So I will keep this list. When this order comes back and I do the reveal, we will go over that list. You guys seen it before I sent it, so I cannot make anything up. And we'll see how well I did. Ron, I'm going to tell you that I am blessed. I will say that. It is very, very awesome. Not that she necessarily supports it. It's more because we get to enjoy it together. It's one thing to have a significant other that is okay with you spending the money or, whatever. It's another thing when your wife comes to you and says, I want cards to open. Or she goes online looking on online retailers because we're not leaving the house right now, and goes on and sits there and puts cards, like cases, I'm not talking packs, cases, in the cart, and is like, I think I'm going to order this. Now, that is what makes it really, really fun. That what, it makes it more of a reason to do it. I get to enjoy this with her. A lot of people, my son never really got into sports. He's diabetic. He was afraid of playing sports when he was younger. So he's never really gotten into sports cards with me. Obviously, my daughter, she's into music and that sort of thing that I really, really support. But she's not really, she loves going to baseball games, but she loves opening the grading results when they come back. She'll open packs every now and then, but as far as to really get into and grasp the cards, that's not really her thing. So I get to enjoy it with my wife, and I don't push it on my kids. I would have loved if my son played sports, but I understood, his fear with his diabetes and everything else. So anyway, it does make it a lot more enjoyable. It makes it a hobby. It makes it have that much more value to me that even, it sucks if we get a bad box or something, but we get those few minutes of opening those packs, just like the other night when we were being goofy and got online and did a little box war, and, she had her box, I had my box, and, all that. It makes it fun. And this YouTube channel, this information I give y'all, this sharing things with y'all, it's about having fun. It's about enjoying the hobby. It's about this right here. I've been enjoying these lives. I'm going to try to do at least 1, possibly 2 a week, every week, as well as put out other videos that won't be live. But I really enjoy getting to sit here and talk to you guys, like, while I'm making the videos, rather than just post a video and then you guys comment, and then I respond to it. I really enjoy the interaction. I'm glad that you guys enjoy watching it. I'm glad of the feedback you give me on it. I'm glad that everybody is just having fun, especially in this time in the world. And I hope this continues, not the bad time in the world, but I hope it continues, that we can help you guys with information, you know, or just sit and talk about the hobby or whatever, you know. I just like I like this aspect of it. I like having fun. I like knowing that you guys are enjoying it. And I like to give back. And as my wife pointed out a few minutes ago, let's go ahead and do another giveaway when we hit 300 subscribers. I know the first one for the 100 subscribers, he got his cards. He posted them up on Instagram. He really appreciated them. And you know, that's what it's about. I had those laying here. You know, I could have sold them, or I could have sent some in for grading, but I got so much cards here. I can make someone's day. That's worth more than putting something on eBay and getting a few bucks out of it. So anyway, at 300 guys, we'll do our next giveaway. Before I get off, is there anything anybody wants to talk about? You know, maybe regarding what I started off with in the video. Any comments about the submission? Any questions, anything like that? Yeah, Dave, my son, he actually met a Formula One driver and everything. It's a long story that I don't have time to get into on here and explain to everybody. He actually, just to make a long story short, he was actually into soccer. He was 5 years old when he got diagnosed. He actually got diagnosed the day of his soccer pictures, and it scared him because he got it while he was playing, and he felt that sports was kind of a reasoning for it. So I could never really get him interested in sports after that. So he got more into the Pokemon, the Yu-Gi-Oh, that sort of thing. And, you know, I don't know anything about Pokemon and stuff like that. I know there's a lot of people that do, but, yeah. Why am I submitting the base LeBron? Level, you know the answer. People are paying for LeBron. Why not? They're $15 raw. I could probably get 60, 80, maybe 100 of it graded. Why not? Thoughts on Magic? The Orlando Magic? Or Magic the Gathering? I don't know nothing about Magic the Gathering. I know that I had some of the old original ones in high school. I'm going to make a video on that one day, guys. My history of collecting sports cards from back when I started, during a period that I took a break, and what got me back into it. That, Connor, if you're talking Magic the Gathering, I'm going to... I'll discuss all of that in an upcoming video. How important is centering when it comes to getting that 10? I have a couple 83 rookies. JC, with SGC, they are harder on centering. PSA, I believe, is 60-40. SGC requires 55-45. So centering is important to get a 10. Especially on an old 83 rookie. Those are going to be hard. Centering was not easy back in the day. Yeah, if the back centering is off, then it probably would not get a 10. Yes, level, I think the bubble will hold. Not to mention, you know, I'm not going to be sitting and waiting 6-8 months for my cards to get back. Not a knock to anybody. But LeBron, I feel, is he's a great investment. Look his numbers up. I mean, people are talking about the documentary, and some of the Jordan cards will drop back down. But Jordan's rookies have, to me personally, Jordan rookies have been undervalued for a long time. You're talking about one of the most iconic sports legends in the history of the game, history of sports. And his rookie, although it was highly produced, you are talking about one of the greatest legends of any sport. And he didn't have 30 different parallels from one set. He had one 86 Fleer rookie card. Keep that in mind. I'm doing good, Chili. How about you, man? Just wrapping up this, taking some questions, and Jay, if 60-40 on the back and all the edges surface, there's no print dots, no corner damage, nothing like that, I think you will be good for at least a 9. Without seeing the card or anything and not being a professional grader, I can't tell you for certain, but from the way you're describing it, it should get a good grade. Can you, as a collector who grades, talk about grading the card, not the player? I'm not sure what you're referencing, Dave. Talk about grading the card and not the player. Yeah, you can email it to us, JC. The email it's simple. It's bobblesandballcards@gmail.com. And that goes for anybody. If you guys don't have Instagram, or if you don't, if you're not on Reddit, just go ahead and shoot us an email. It's bobblesandballcards, just like this, @gmail.com. Yeah, I talk to Level all the time on Reddit. He's one of the he's a basketball guy, and he knows I do a lot with baseball, and he's got interest in baseball because of just what we were talking about earlier, the modern market. So yeah, we'll discuss this. I like LeBron. I have ever since he was at St. Vincent St. Mary's. So I regret not buying more of him way sooner, but I think his value will hold. Let's see. Thinking it would grade well because of Mantle, and it got a 3. Hey, a 3 on a Mickey Mantle, Dave, is not bad. Are you meaning the graders? Do you think that they grade a card lower because of who the card is versus giving the card the grade it deserves? Is that what you're referring to, Dave? Whiskey, welcome into, I'm kind of wrapping up right now. I'm just taking some questions and chatting. Essentially, I had 120 card submission, lots of baseball. I'm going to be sending this in soon. This is my next order, so I was just showing what I had in this order and going over how I am going to try to predict the grades and see how well I do. I don't know if I'll be accurate, but hopefully I'm pretty good at it. But let me show you here. I wrote down all of my grades and just kind of went through showing everything that I'm sending in for this next order. And then we were just discussing the oh, what's up, man? My wife is actually typing in the chat. Everybody, give a shout out to Whiskey and Wax. his username on Reddit is the Bear Fighter. I actually met him randomly at Blowout. He was buying 2018 Topps Update. One day when me and my wife were up there buying, we bought hockey, I believe, and there was a show going on. It was actually right before the before everything like got shut down and the coronavirus hit. It was like the weekend before all hell broke loose. I met him up there, and then coincidentally, I seen him post on Reddit some of his hits from 18 Update, and messaged him, and realized it was the same guy. So, pretty cool story. But yeah, I've actually met him. I met him and his brother. Really two cool guys. So yeah, give him a shout out. On Reddit, his name is the Bear Fighter. Really, really cool guy. Chili, on this topic with PSA, I'm going to give my opinion. And others have also noticed this. PSA, I truly believe, does pop control. One reason I don't really look hard at pop reports is there's so many people that crack slabs and resubmit. Pop reports never are accurate. The other side to that is once a card starts getting value, I truly believe PSA knows in order to keep that value, they have to limit and can't, when a card, I'll use Acuna and Luka as an example. When that card starts increasing in price, a lot more people are sending that card into them. They know that if they keep shelling out tens, that the value on that card is going to slowly decrease because the demand is going to be higher. So I think sometimes, and me personally, I've experienced this. I sent in a Lucas Silver Prism. They gave it a 9. I looked that card over, up, down, sideways, backwards. It should have been a 10. I compared it with plenty of 10s on eBay. They all looked the same. The surface was great. It got a 10, or it got a 9. But I sent a DeAndre Ayton silver that clearly had a dimple in the surface. I knew the card should not have 10'd, and it came back a 10. Luka was way hotter than DeAndre Ayton. I think they clearly pop controlled me on my silver Luka and gave me a 9. And that's just my personal opinion. I can't speak for everything, but I do truly believe. Look up the Larry Bird, Dr. J, Magic Johnson rookie. Look up the Ricky Henderson rookie. There's numerous cards that you can find, not just modern, but throughout time, that the pop reports just cannot be legit grading. You cannot tell me that, I don't know what is current. Actually, you know what, hell with it. While we're here, Ricky Henderson rookie was what? Hang on 1 second here, guys. I think it's 81. 1980 Topps. 80. Okay. $80 Topps. Where'd my chat go? Okay, here we go. All right. Oh, I definitely agree with black labels. You can't tell me that a card is that really pristine is pristine is pristine. I don't know how you can call a card pristine if all 4 subgrades aren't a 10. I don't understand that. I never will. Black labels are pretty. They get massive prices. But when you say a card is pristine, it should be pristine. There should not be 3 10s and a 9.5. It should be pristine across the board. No other. You should have gem mint and you should have pristine. That's it. Unfortunately, that isn't how it works, and we all know that story. I don't really agree with the black labels. They are pretty. They do gain a lot of money, but I think pristine is pristine. You should not have 2 levels of pristine. It's like people selling a gem mint and a gem mint plus. I mean, the card's either gem mint or it's not gem mint. I get mint plus because, you know, it's not quite gem mint, but it's not horrible either, if that makes any sense. Shoot, what card? I'm trying to find it. Give me 1 second, guys. I want to bring this up since this topic was brought up, and it is a good topic. But I can't find the damn card. $482. I have a Henderson behind me. I actually have a Ricky Henderson rookie, so that's what I'm doing when I'm looking back on that shelf. Alright, there we go. Alright, I'm gonna... No, Chili, I was trying to find the Henderson rookie. I'm on the pop reports right now. I'm going to bring up my other screen real quick so y'all can see this. Okay. Here's the Henderson pop report. Now, no, Ron. A 10 gold label is pristine. A regular black 10 is gem mint. So essentially, BGS has 9.5, which is gem mint, and then they have 10, which is pristine, and then they have another 10, which is black label pristine. There should not be 2 pristines. That would be like having gem mint and gem mint plus, like people say, oh, well, it has 3 9.5s and a 10, so it's gem plus. No, it's still gem mint. You know, or true gem mint. You're breaking a card down into 4 sections of 1 grade. 1 grade. It's either gem mint or it's not gem mint. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There should not be pristine and then another pristine. A pristine is pristine. To get a pristine with SGC, you have to have perfect 50-50 centering, no flaws anywhere on the card. There is not pristine and then a little bit better than pristine. Doesn't happen. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys this, and we were talking about pop control. Look at this number right here. 20,260 Ricky Henderson rookies have went through PSA. 20,260. There have been 24 10s. How is that even possible? 24 10s. But here, I mean, this guy's pretty cool, right? Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's cool, right? Hell of a boxer. Don't think he ever did anything with a bat. He's only had 104 and has 43 10s. So almost 50% of Mr. Mike Tyson got 10s. But you have 24 out of 20,000 Ricky Hendersons that have gotten a 10. 24. It makes no sense. The checklist. Look at this checklist. It's got as many 10s as a Ricky Henderson. out of 59 copies graded. I mean, explain that. I don't know if there is any explanation to that. So that is my take on a card getting a 10, and whether or not that some should or shouldn't. But Chili, I said about 10 minutes or so ago, I'm actually going to do a video on that. I did take a break from the hobby. I was big into it when I was young, and then I ended up taking a break. So let's see. Looking through y'all's questions here. No, Chili, it ain't got nothing to do with it being from 1980. I mean, look, I showed you guys, there's cards that have under 100, there's cards that have had under 60 graded that got 24 of them in a 10. I mean, you can't tell me that out of 20,000 copies of one card, that only 24 of them have been a 10. That's complete BS. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But that card, they will not give it a 10 because that card is so valuable. Even a PSA 9 is so valuable. They won't put the population numbers up. I'm going to tell you this. If they know somebody, they might give them a 10. Other than that, if me, you, whoever sent them, you ain't getting a 10. I don't care how crisp that card is. And that's my personal opinion. Yeah, the Ozzie Smith, Ron, that's another one. That's what I'm saying. There's iconic cards out there, and that's why they're so sought after. Also, that 20,000 number, that's probably a lot of people cracking nines and resubmitting, praying for that 10, because it is so valuable. I mentioned the Bird, Magic, and Dr. J rookie. That card is huge because there's not a lot of 10s in it. Natsman, I don't think they're going to flood the market. I think that I've heard that some products are already like being held out. Truthfully, I kind of wish Topps would take away some of their products anyway. There is too many high-end products. One of them just released, which is Definitive. There is awesome cards in Definitive, but I'm going to tell you guys something. Year after year after year after year, it is a very expensive product. The cards look almost identical year after year after year after year, and the prices will slowly go down. If you collect people like Victor Robles or even Juan Soto, you can pick their patch autos up at a very reasonable price, cheaper than you would pay for a spot in a break. So just be very careful with buying some of those high-end products like that. They're really nice products. I love a lot of the cards, but I stay away from them and I only buy singles. I learned my lesson. Just gonna leave it at that. No problem, JC. I'll check it as soon as I get off of here. I'm gonna just answer a few more questions and chat with you guys a few more minutes, and then I want to hop off. It's after 11 o'clock now, so been going on over an hour and a half, but it's awesome that you guys get on and chat with me. I actually love this. Yeah, Ron, that's what I'm saying. He's another one of those guys that it's pop controlled. I mean, I'm not saying that it should be 19,000 10s out of 20,000 submitted. That's not what I'm saying. But you can't tell me that only 24 of them got a 10. It's just... 2020... I don't really mess with Panini, Panini branded products, Chili. Um, I do buy some for my collection, but as far as ripping them, I don't really get into that. I I deal enough with Panini with basketball when I do that. I don't want to start getting into them with baseball, and yeah, it just, I don't know. I like some of the designs of the cards, but I would prefer just grabbing singles to add to my collection when it comes to Panini brand baseball cards. Um, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. That the high end baseball, it's really nice looking products, really nice patches, really cool cards, great stars in it, but the price just the resale value of the singles drops so dramatically. You're going to have Diamond Icons coming out soon if they release it as normal. Diamond Icons is almost just like Definitive. Soon as Diamond Icon hits, Definitive prices drop. It's ridiculous how they do it, but people will consistently buy in because of online card breaking and hope for that Babe Ruth 101 or whatever, which would be an awesome hit, but there's one of them. Yeah, I haven't watched Phil's channel. I want to say this too for anybody that's like new to collecting or anything, and I'm not bashing anybody when I say this. I watch Phil's channel sometimes, and I will say he's entertaining. It's entertaining. I like the production he does in his videos. It's interesting watching him open, some of the products he does. But sometimes I feel like maybe it's a bad look for the hobby because going out spending thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars, like what he pays on Sapphire. I don't know if you guys ever watch Houdini breaks or not, but they do them box wars with Sapphire. They're charging like $300 a box of Sapphire. That is playing right into what everybody complains about with the resale market. Those boxes were $50 a piece, but they sold out so quickly because of the bots getting them online that now these breakers are taking so much advantage, and to be shelling out thousands upon thousands upon thousands of cards or dollars and cards, it's a bad way of going about the hobby, especially for new people and the amount of reach he has to the hobby. Um, you know, I it like I said, he's very entertaining. He's done well with the channel. I get he's also an ex-baseball player of the Yankees, so he's got a name associated with him as well. But it's just not. It, I think it gives a false sense of hope when you're spending. If I had to estimate, he probably opens $20,000 in product a week. I mean, just maybe not every week, but if you figure up how many Sapphire boxes he's breaking, and those 2018 Sapphire boxes he broke, and the Transcendent cases, and those Roto boxes, it adds up. I'm sitting here, you guys see how much I have, I'm ripping base product. And that gets expensive in its own right for a regular collector. So, I like the guy's channel. I do enjoy watching him. It is entertaining, but I just pray that people don't feel the need to have to go out and spend $5,000 or whatever it is he pays on 2018 Topps Chrome Sapphire, or hit every single chrome, sapphire, Tatis that is in existence to man. To me, that's just that's not a way to go about the hobby. And sure, if he's got the money, fine, but it shouldn't be looked upon as the way to go about the hobby. So anyway, sorry for that rant, guys. I don't like doing that. I appreciate everybody that does YouTube because it gives me entertainment to watch, just like you guys, are watching me right now. I'm not perfect. I'm sure some people have a lot to say about my channel, and I'm like I said, I'm not talking bad about him. I'm not saying that he's wrong. If that's what he enjoys, great. But I think he needs to express maybe in one of his videos that if you're new to collecting, this isn't the way to go about it. That's just my opinion. You're okay with it because Sapphire... Yeah, Ron, that's what I'm saying. He's got the money to do it, but when you're portraying that, you have to buy these products or whatever, I'll tell you what, go and search Houdini and just watch the box breaks and the people that are continuously doing box wars with him. A lot of times those people lose and they don't even get any cards, period. And I think they're just doing it because of his popularity. They've seen, things come out of Sapphire, and I just feel people are losing a lot of money doing that. And, I wanted Sapphire. At $50 a box, I was going to order me a couple boxes. At $300 a box, it sits on the shelf. I'm not doing that. I'll buy this and get my return from grading these cards that are cheaper and go about it that way. But alright guys, I'm getting yelled at by the wife to sign off, so anyway, I really appreciate all of you coming in here. We will do this again soon. I will post something about when the next live will be, and I hope you all have a good rest of your weekend. I hope that everybody stays healthy, stays safe, and anyway, I will post up some upcoming ideas for videos and when we'll do the lives, and definitely keep you guys in the loop. I appreciate all of you. 300 subscribers, we're going to do another giveaway. So with that, guys, until the next video, I'm out.